It's 9 miles today. I haven't ran 9 miles in over 3 years, so we'll see how that goes. Tune in to the end of the video to find out how it goes.
I can only do 7. Wow.
What? Why would you blurt out the spoiler? This was supposed to build to a dramatic conclusion. Now there's no drama. Where's the drama? I am the drama. Hello, I am Jeremy, and I'm on week 6 of my marathon training plan. I thought I'd give you some updates on what progress I made, if any. I am following Ben Parks's marathon training plan for beginners, and I have completed week 6, and I want a cookie. So 3 runs last week. One on Tuesday, July 7th. It's 4 miles easy with 4 sets of 20-second strides. I completed that in 48 minutes. 10:59 average pace, 1:53 average heart rate. The strides, I got as high as 7:11 on one of the strides. I felt like I was flying. So this is what normal runners feel like. Temp was in the mid 80s. I do my runs right after work when it was the hottest imaginable because I am a masochist. Second run of the week was on July 9th, which was a Thursday. It was 3 miles, easy. I did it after my gym session. It took me 32 minutes and 16 seconds. I was 10:38 average pace, 1:53 average heart rate. Temp was about 85 degrees. It was very warm and a very uninspired run, as the run around the gym is. It's just hills and houses and soullessness. But I did it. There were no niggles. Everything was fine. And then July 11th happened, when it called for a 9-mile run. 3 minutes easy, 3 minutes marathon pace, and 3 minutes easy. How about that? I was looking forward to this run, mainly because I'm tired of going slow. I wanted to know what my marathon pace was. Little did I know that it would come back to nibble at me. I went on the trails this time for the run. My run ended up being, spoiler, as if you hadn't already known, only 7 miles. I had to cut the last 2 miles short for a couple reasons.
They're hot. I didn't think I was going to run in hell today, but I'm running in hell today. And it's not even 10 o'clock. And it's only July 11th. And I have an entire summer of this. I'm regretting every decision I've ever made in my life.
The marathon paces were interesting because I wanted to do my pace to be about 10-minute miles per pace. And they were that. The marathon pace was, for the first mile, 10:02, almost on point. The second one got up to 9:47. The third one was 10:20. The second one being 9:47, 2 reasons. I actually got up to as fast as 8:14 per mile because I ran on a trail and I was slowly approaching a gentleman who was running slightly slower than I was. So I wanted to pass him. But it seemed every time I was speeding up to pass him, the faster he got. So I was almost sprinting just to avoid my societal anxiety of being around people, especially in open. But I eventually did pass him, and my heart rate got up to around 171 around that point. And that was mile 4 going into 5. And it got dreadful after that. I couldn't calm down. I couldn't cool myself down. I had Gatorade with me. I had Element salt tablets. I had gels. The first time I had tried a gel, the goo gels, they were fine. I like those, but I guess I misunderstood the value of gels. I thought they were Super Mario power-ups that would just spring you forward and you would have no pain whatsoever. No, there was still pain. There was a lot of pain. But it was interesting because I got an assortment of gels and I just picked 2 randomly out of the box. And when it's time for the first gel, about 30 minutes into the run before my marathon pace changes, I just opened it up and sucked it down. I was like, this tastes like birthday cake. And I looked at the tab. It was birthday cake. So they were surprisingly good. They were, for astronaut food, they were really good. So I think I'm going to stick with those. I kind of have to because I have like 40 left because I bought a lot on Amazon. But I need to work on my hydration because Gatorade, despite its boasts, does not quench any part of my anatomy when I take it. I think I'll just stick with water and gels going forward to see how that feels. Because every time I took a drink of Gatorade mixed with the element powder, it was like I was licking the Sahara. Everything was dry and desiccated from here, and I couldn't find any solace in anything that should have brought me solace. And the fatigue had set in. My hips were giving away, but I wasn't injured. Nothing diabolical happened during the run, which was a fortunate for. Well, I'm very grateful for. But the rest of the day was spent in a brainless stupor, mainly because of the heat. Every chore I had to do afterwards was just, and I finally felt better around late afternoon. So just drank and rested, and it was fine. The next day, being today, the legs were not sore. I felt fine. I did a mini leg day at the gym. So I think I just need to work on quieting the demons. Sometimes they get loud in my head saying, you can't do this, which happens. And just the tedium of the run and knowing I have 2 miles and 25 minutes left to do it. And I just don't want to. So I have to pump myself up to do some of these more runs, controlled, in a controlled fashion, of course, I think. So still new at all this stuff. I've been running for about 2 months now, injury-free, knock on wood. So, and I want to keep it that way because I may complain. Running is kind of fun. I think I'm improving at it slowly, and it's something that I want to improve at. Well, I think that's all I have to report. Thank you so much for listening, and hip hip.
Calves, are you okay? Whoa! Whoa! This is terrible. We should be sleeping in, or at least watching cartoons. It is Saturday morning after all. What are you doing to me now?